Welcome back to the That's Rank podcast, the podcast where we rank your ideas on the fly. My name is Liam.
My name is Rob.
My name is Matt.
Oh, Matt's back. Hello, Matt. Hey, welcome back to the podcast. Thanks for joining us once again.
This is my third time.
It is your third time, yeah. It's a trilogy. It's a trilogy.
It's a trilogy.
And what do we know about trilogies? The third one is always the best. Return of the Matt. Hey, hey, return of the Matt. Once again. Sorry. Okay.
I don't know. Have you seen Spider-Man 3?
I liked the Matt Strikes Back, personally. That's the better one.
Matt Strikes Back.
Yeah, the Matt Strikes Back was the better one. But, Return of the Matt, I'm excited. I do hope you've got a couple of Ewoks in there somewhere running around the back room.
I haven't shaved in a while.
I would actually...
That's fun. That's two. Sorry.
It's like the door's open behind you. There's one of the runs past at pace. At pace.
Get it.
But no, it's great to be back once again. Ranking. Sorry about last week. Had a bit of a snafu with some of the footage, but that's okay. We are back and ranking once again. We got the wheel behind us, and on that wheel, we need your ideas. Rob, where can people give us their lovely ideas for the wheel, for things to rank? Please tell us.
You can find us at thatsrankpod at Gmail if you wanted to send an email.
That's right.
Or thatsrankpod at Insta, thatsrankpod at YouTube. Where else are we? Threads? Facebook?
2 years. 2 years we've been doing this. We've done this so many times. But no, you're right. Yeah, Facebook is
the main one. Insta's the main one. Insta and email, I feel. And YouTube comments. We've started to get some YouTube comments.
Yes, please.
Which was good, which is fun. So interact.
Send them our way. Send them our way. We'd love to. We don't. Should we get one?
Cheeky P.O. box.
Cheeky little PO box. What would we?
Fan mail.
The PO box. The PO box was like something that I remember from like the TV shows in the 90s. Like you were into Agro's Cartoon Connection, and if you wanted to send things in, you had to send it to a PO box. No, those are locked bags. Those are guys.
Here's a question.
We can get into.
Does a PO box cost money?
It must, right?
Yes. Yeah, it does. It does. It's your own personal box.
Personal.
It's a personal.
But I've got my own personal box. It's called a mailbox.
Yeah, but anyone can take shit out of that, mate. I could walk out. I could come to your place and be like, mine.
And it's better to say PO Box 714 than here's my address. I live here. Because all the fans, the fans of this show would be crazy. It'd be a safety risk for me to give my address out on this podcast. We've got too many fans.
That's right.
So many.
It's too many. Yeah, and it's like a little maze to get to your place anyway. So it'd be like a little adventure for everybody.
Actually, that's true. That's true.
That is true.
Yep.
That is true. But no, we're back. We're back again for episode number 92. We're pushing up towards episode 100. Go us. Go us. You can catch all the archives. Oh, Matt lifting the roof. Was it quite a heavy roof? Goodness me.
What's up? Roof's up.
God.
There's your exercise.
Like this all night for the rest of this. That's all right. Just wait.
Well, no, the podcast is done because you couldn't hold it up. Unbelievable. What are we going to do? But no, you can catch all the audio archives on Spotify, on all the places, and now on YouTube. You can catch us there. Now, gentlemen, any pleasantries before I spin that bad boy over there?
Any pleasantries? Okay, so I got a massage today.
Oh, he does. Oh, by the way, happy birthday, Rob.
Yeah, Thank you very much. I got a massage, and I found a place I'd never been to before because it was a last-minute decision. Sure. And I was just like, I want like a traditional Thai massage. So I went on the Googles and I found like a really nice, authentic place. And I went in there and there was this lovely, older, experienced masseuse that started to give me like a really good massage. And I was lying face down. And I felt like two hands on my back giving me a massage. And then all of a sudden, I feel a third hand on my calf. And I was like, what the hell? And then I feel a fourth hand on my calf. And then for a moment, I'm in my head, I'm like, I'm just counting the hands and I'm trying to do maths as to how many human beings it takes to have four hands as opposed to how many human beings it takes to only have two. And I realized there's another person in the room.
Are you sure she wasn't just really skilled with her feet?
I am. Because then I looked over and I heard them say, 2 people, okay? And I was like, yeah, sure. So I had 2 people massage me. And then afterwards I had a cup of tea and I had a bit of a chat. And it was a lovely experience.
That's a nice way to spend your birthday.
And then I had gelato.
Oh, lovely.
Perfect birthday afternoon. And now I'm here.
It's amazing It's amazing how birthdays change as we get older. Hey, it's just like now that we're late 30s, early 40s, it's kind of just like, do you know what? Gelato and massage. I don't need anything else.
Sounds so good.
Followed by a nap, just a nap.
Want to go out tonight?
Early
No.
night.
Yeah.
No, I do not want to do that.
No,
The hangovers get worse.
Yeah,
They do get worse. No,
Exactly.
it is a lovely
Enough.
way.
Yeah.
It is a lovely
So
way.
it was a nice day. Thank you for your birthday wishes, and now I'm ready to rank. I'm ready to rank.
You are ready to rank? Matt, are you also ready to rank?
I was born ready.
Oh, you well, in that case. It feels like forever since I've done this.
Oh, look at that spin.
Good spin. Good spin.
All right,
Enjoy.
gentlemen. Oh, it's got a little cheeky Casper. It's a little bit of a cock there. I'm just going to move it to this number here. Whoop. Number 20. Oh, list. I've gone back to not being ready. Sorry, Rob.
I'd expect nothing less, Liam.
That's what it is, man.
It's your bit now.
Oh.
It's your bit.
Oh, it's not even an intentional bit. It's just something that just happens.
One of these days you'll
right.
be ready, and I won't be ready because you'll be like, "Oh, there's the number, and this is the topic," and I'll just be like out back mowing the lawn, and I'll be like, "I wasn't ready for you." I was like, "Shit."
Washing your plants. So we got the number 20 tonight from our good friend of the show, Andrea Gibbs, has given us this topic. Thank you, Andrea. She has asked us to rank what is the weirdest job. What is the weirdest job?
The weirdest
Oh shit!
job.
Oh my god!
That's
that could
actually,
be.
it's actually a bit of a tricky.
Have you started Googling already?
No. I don't know what you're referring to.
I just saw your hands moving towards the computer. I just figured Matt's gone as well. Yeah, Matt's on.
No, it is, but it is like a funny. It is like because like that's the jobs that you've had in your experience, and like I've had some strange jobs actually. I think I have actually had some strange jobs, but would they be like to rank them as like weirdest jobs in the world? Like it's not like I've had a job. I've never worked as a lion tamer, a lion tamer.
Liam Tamer.
A liam tamer. I've actually worked for 2 years apparently as a liam tamer.
It's a hard job, man. It's a hard job.
I bring my
It's a
own
thankless job.
chair
It's a
every
thankless
time
job.
we come to record.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoosh, whoosh. The whips used to be for fun. Now they're for work. So.
It's got a button near you, Rob, that like sends a little shock on to Liam if he's like,
I'll start acting up. Just be like, oh God, Jesus! Oh my God! I didn't do anything that time. You foul shit. That's why my hair changed color. That's why.
That's right. That's right.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So weird jobs like what, though, Rob? Like weird jobs like what?
That I've had.
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to take anything away in case you use it, but it sounds like they're not like weird in the traditional sense.
What have I had? So I guess I've done weird things in my jobs. So
Okay.
recent episode we talked about my experiences overseas, and
Yes.
in Laos, I remember, for example, we found out about some elephants that had come out of the jungles into
You found
a town.
out about them.
And yeah, they were like my colleagues came in. Oh, there's elephants in a nearby town, and I was like, oh wow! So we went out there and we had to find the elephants. So I was walking through the jungle, literally looking for elephants, and I was like to my colleagues, I was like, what happens if we find them? Aren't these things like dangerous? And they're like, yeah. And I was like. And I like the color red, and I look at my backpack was red, and I was like, Jesus. So anyway, but there was a whole thing. Do you want to know the sad story? The sad end to that story?
Oh,
You found the elephants.
2 weeks later, we got called back because someone found the elephants, and they were dead. Because they do a lot of damage, and if you're a subsistence farmer, elephants come rolling in, and they might take out your whole year's worth of income by accidentally crushing your crop. So the farmers poison them. So my first time I ever saw wild elephants, they were actually dead elephants, and they were being pulled out of a hole in the ground. No, they've been put into a hole in the ground by a crane, and they've been covered in dirt. And I was like, what the hell?
You take a picture. Rob's first safari.
It's a bit of a sad ending. But then here's the funny part, right? So I was out there and I was looking at these elephants, and I was having a deep thoughts about the world. And then like I was like the only like white guy there, right? Like I'm just like I'm just like sticking out like a thorn in a rose. And then another white guy rocks up. And I'm like, and it's weird because I don't know, this is going to sound strange, but you kind of notice each other. And then he approaches me and he's just like, hey. And I'm like, oh, g'day, how you going? Anyway, this was a really bizarre story because he's like, oh, man, you work for the news. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, dude, I've got to tell you about this miracle. I've started dating this woman and she's pregnant, but we've never had sex. It's like a virgin birth. And I'm just like looking at the guy and I'm like,
congrats, man.
Congrats. Yeah, bro.
You did it. You did it.
Congrats. And I was like, dude. And I'm like, well, anyway. That was my weird. Well, that was a weird day, actually. Now that I think about it, weird day.
Not a weird job, just a weird day. Because I'm almost certain finding dead elephants was not in your job description.
Dead elephants and yeah, dead elephants and local gossip, not in my job.
Oh yes.
So I just walked. I just left, and that was it. I put that memory in the bank, and now here I am.
And here it is.
I worked for the Cadbury Chocolate Factory.
Oh, Willy Wonka.
Yeah. Well, not really. It was in Toronto, and it was just this big industrial factory. And the thing when you start is like, the thing they say to get you in there is like, you can have all the chocolate you eat. And I was a backpacker, so I was like...
Yes, you could have all the chocolate you eat. Yes, that's correct. I mean,
and I was like, I can just eat chocolate. And I'm like, yeah, you can just pick it up off the lines, like the conveyor belts of endless chocolate. You can just pick them up. That doesn't
seem sanitary.
And you can just eat them. Well, no. They're wrappers, Liam. They're in wrappers.
Well, don't say it like I knew that.
So it's when they're in wrappers, because you're like, we were down at the boxing end, and sure enough, they said, yeah, you can just grab any wrapped chocolate bar and eat it. And I was like, sweet. I'm like going to save money on lunches now because I was a backpacker. And then after 2 days, I was like, I'm never eating chocolate again. And like you look around and I'm like, do you eat the chocolate? And they're like, nah, man, I don't eat the chocolate anymore. Like everyone just overdoses on chocolate within like a few days.
That's what they tell you. That's what they tell you to take as much free chocolate as you can because
it's a genius.
Within like 2 weeks, it's gone.
Yeah.
How about you, Mr. Matt? Any weird and wonderful, wacky jobs in your history? Or any weird dead animals?
No dead animal. Oh, I mean, I was on a film shoot once for an Australian film called High Ground, and we had to film this scene of a farm being burnt down, and instead I don't know how you do it otherwise, but we had actual dead cattle.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and so like
real
there was all
dead
this
cattle,
real dead cows. Like they had, because the whole scene was like this farmer's trying to get his cows out after the farm's been set on fire. And so there's cows being herded out, but a few were killed. I guess died naturally. Like beforehand, so they're like dead on the floor.
I was going to say, oh my goodness,
no, not on camera.
But you said that, they herded them out the field and went, all right, they're dead cows now. Enjoy.
But
they died of natural causes. What happened? We put them in a room and didn't feed them.
We shot them. They just went into this tiny little metal thing.
Who would have thought there was so many dead animals in the first 5 minutes of this episode? Like weirdest jobs were like dead animals.
Yeah, I was like, dead animals. But I just remember because we were sort of filming, the sun was going down, and like because these things were freshly dead, they were inflating.
Oh wow!
And so there was someone, I'm guessing was either part of the crew or might have been part of someone from some station that the cows came from, and would just spear them. Just to let the gases out. And it was the most filthiest smell.
Like sausages.
What
the Yeah. And it's just like, you just sort of, if you were near it like that, that smell was not pleasant.
I mean, to be fair though, that is someone's job.
Yeah, I was like,
someone's job
why
is
did I mention that
now? It's okay. Just when you have your time again, just tell that story, just from start to finish.
Or you can just cut that thing and like.
Better to hire someone to spear the dead cows than it is to hire someone to clean up the exploded cow. So like, there's a definite. But I want to see that movie and wait for the message at the end where it says animals and wildlife.
Animals were harmed on this. Yeah.
Oh man, that sounds proper disgusting.
Yeah, it was a smell, that's for sure.
I'm sorry you had to experience that. That's terrible.
I mean, other than that, it was fine.
Talk about weird animal things in jobs. So when I was in I'm on a roll now. Well, when I was in high school, when I did work experience, I did like a week of
Yeah.
work experience. I got put in a vet,
Oh,
and like every day, the vet would cut dogs' balls off every day. And on the last day, he was like, he looked at me. He's like, "Do you want to do it?"
No, he did
No,
not.
seriously. He was like, "Do you want to do it?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." So he just like he kind of held up the membrane, and he gave me a little, just gradually.
I cannot
the
stress
balls
how
off.
you are not qualified to do that.
No,
Who
it
is
wasn't
this- who is this
well,
vet? We need to get him,
my
like,
memory's a bit
deep-
blurred. I'm pretty sure he set it all up, so it was just like a pair of scissors, and I had to just like clarify.
I like the umbilical cord, like, with the when
Like
the
the
parents had to
dad
cut the
does it.
umbilical cord.
It was a long, long
Yeah,
time
exactly
ago.
right.
I remember doing it, and you're right. I was not qualified to do it, and thankfully, I did not cause that dog to go into. I mean, look, it's just like cutting up sausages. It's just like.
Yeah. If you hit the sausages, mate, you've gone too far. You gotta I told you weren't qualified. Unbelievable.
Yeah, what a weird start to this episode.
See, the only weird job I can really think of was being a dealer at the casino, and it was only weird because of how strange the whole concept is.
Mm.
And this is coming from someone who does like a cheeky punt from time to time. Like being on the other end of the table, I was like, "Whoa, this is weird," because people are just literally giving you money, and you put some cards down, you spin a ball around, you do all that kind of stuff, you spin a big wheel, right? And then all of a sudden, take money, give money, mostly take money, and that's a job. I got to do that. I got to just literally play with ceramic chips for hours and hours and hours, nonstop, and people were happy to give me money to do that for them. It was very strange. It was very strange.
It is a
But
whole.
not weird.
It's a weird thing, Glenn. It's like basically it's just it's just like a light show, and the whole game
Yes.
is just like come in and give us your money.
Yeah.
But like we'll have like a couple of games and lights around it, and it'll all look very fancy. But in the end, it's just like come sit down, buy a drink, and just push your money across the table towards us. Okay.
Mm.
With that promise of winning some back, you can. Everyone can do it.
Everybody wins.
Everybody wins. Yep.
Maybe.
Everybody at some stage. At some stage.
Yeah. The owner of the
But not-
casino was everybody Ferguson. I've made myself everybody, so I can tell everybody wins.
That's actually a really genius marketing ploy. I love that.
Down.
I love that a lot. But not the weirdest job though. Not the weirdest job in the sense that I'm thinking of. I think I've got an idea of where I'm going to go with mine.
Okay.
How about you guys? Are you guys struggling?
I've
You guys
got an
something?
idea. I think I've got an idea.
You got an idea?
Very much struggling. So I'm very excited to hear you guys.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to change it up a little bit. We're still going to give 5 minutes to each person this week, but we're going to try and see if we can speed this up a little bit and see if we can get our point across in less than 5 minutes. If we still need the 5 minutes, we'll still do the 5 minutes. That's your maximum. But if you think you can do it in less, all the power to you. Oh, yeah. This is a battle to the death, don't forget.
Oh yeah, battle to the death.
That's right. Actually, we haven't even told everybody what we do, really.
Battle to the death.
First time, yeah.
We talk about dead animals.
First-
That's our thing. Like,
Yeah, if
you like dead animals, you come to the right place.
First time
First time
listeners
listener,
are
like,
gonna
what
be
the
so confused, man.
What the hell
So
is this show?
confused. Well, if you've made it this far, thank you and congratulations. What we do here is we spin that wheel, we get a topic, and then we all each get 5 minutes or less, if we think we can do it in less, to then give a argument as to why ours should rank supreme. And then at the end of the episode, we'll all get our shot at doing the 3, 2, and 1, and then we'll have an ultimate winner at the end. All the winners. So I'm going to set up my little timer. Matt, we'll let you go last, right?
Yes, please.
Okay. No worries. Rob, would you like to go first or shall I go first?
I'm easy, Lynn.
I'll go first. I haven't been first for a very long time.
You do it.
I will do it. So I'm just going to... I had my clock up and now my clock is gone. Here we go. Okay. So my 5 minutes begins now. So there's this kind of weird phenomenon that doesn't really happen in this country so much, but happens overseas. A lot of the time in Asian culture and in Asian places, I know Japan does it. I know that like some of the Indo-Chinese places do it. I'm not too sure if that's how you say it. But essentially the job is people for hire. Now, what does that mean? I'm not talking about a hitman. I'm talking about those companies that you can hire someone to fulfill a certain role or fulfill a certain void in your life. You can hire someone to be a mourner at a funeral. You can hire someone to be an extra number at your wedding. You can hire someone to be your partner for the day. You don't do anything. They just exist in your life. They're just in your life for a certain period of time. You pay them. They go on their way. You can hire someone. Japan has a thing where you can hire a whole family. So if you feel like you're missing your family or whatever, you can literally hire a family to come and just be with you for the day, treat you like they're one of their own. And that's the job. I mean, you look at some, like, the only things that are coming to my mind off the top of my head are Japan. So I'm sorry about this, but I know that the mourners like...
I love how you apologize.
Weird jobs. Japan. Here we go. But no, I know that some of the, maybe some African countries do it too, where they get people to come to the funerals and they mourn at the funerals, because the more people there, the louder it is. Shows them more respect and wishes that person well into the afterlife. So they'll hire someone, or they'll hire multiple people to come in and basically be extras, I suppose, extras at a personal event, for lack of a better description. But it's the ones that really kind of weird me out are the ones where, you can just literally hire someone to be your friend for a day. They'll do everything with you. Go get ice cream. They'll get lunch with you. They'll talk to you. They'll make conversation. And at the end of the day, boom, that's it. They're gone. Oh my God, I just remembered one. There's a guy in Japan, again, who is literally hired. You hire him to be in your presence, but he says nothing. He doesn't say a word. He is just there. I don't know what the purpose of that is, but you can hire him just to exist in and around your vicinity. You get along with your day, doing whatever you do, and he will just sit there. And at the end, he'll be like, it was nice, take his little money, and he'll go away. So I think that's my weirdest job that I can think of off the top of my head with no preparation whatsoever, is the person or people for hire for very specific events and circumstances. And I don't know what else to say about it. So I'm going to stop my 5 minute right there.
No, good. That's good use of the self-stopping rule, because you'd made your point. You'd made your point well.
I finally learned how to stop myself.
So many questions.
Yes, ooh. I know. It's a bizarre idea, isn't it?
It is.
Like, I think somewhere like Japan, which has like a really big loneliness issue, like a lot of people or need something to kind of fill a void, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
There's not a market for it here because people will call you a loser. Like, oh. But over there, it's kind of like accepted. You know what I mean? It's like, well, come on in. Yeah. Sit there, talk to me. I mean, the maid cafes are basically the same thing. Nothing happens in the maid cafes, but you sit there and they dote on you for, however long you are willing to pay for, and then you go on your way. And that's kind of like, you just wouldn't see that in a lot of other cultures, but it's a weird job. It's a weird job.
Yeah, I guess it's just, paying for companionship.
That's it. That's a much better to put it than person for hire. Thank you, man.
Person for hire sounds cool.
Like, how do you, how do you, I'm just trying to think how you build something sustainable out of it. So I guess if you're someone that goes to a funeral, like you're connecting with funeral directors.
Yeah.
And you're like, here's my business card. Like when you've got a funeral and you feel like the family's looking for extra people, like we've got a service. Do you know what I mean? Like,
well, I guess so, because like at the end of the day, if it's like maybe an older person who's lost all the rest of their friends along the way, and then they know that they want to get something, get a loud kind of occasion.
Yeah.
Then they might just be like, hey, call this person. Oh my God, I just thought of another one. I think it's Taiwan, I could be wrong, where you can actually, and this is probably not in the same realm, but I'm going to say it anyway because it's bizarre. You can actually hire a stripper for a funeral because, a big yawn, Rob, goodness me.
Sorry.
You can actually hire a stripper for the funeral for like someone, because that's a nice way to send them off into the afterlife. It's like their last thing before they get whisked away. So you can hire a stripper for your funeral over there. They probably have the cards as well. On Baron O'Day just rocking out some strippers at the next At Karrakatta on a Sunday afternoon. Beautiful.
What? Like that is. I don't even know where to start with that one. The stripper at a funeral.
I know it's
awkward.
it's a bizarre. Yeah, well, not for them, but they but for us, we're just like, what the fuck? What are they doing? just imagine Grandpa's funeral and just some stripper walks in from the Skimpies up the road.
Well, if you had imagine if it was like revenge, so like you had like a really prudish family, a really conservative family, and you were like, you never let me be myself. Like I had this suppressed rage my whole life because like I just wasn't in touch with my human instincts. So screw you, I'm getting a stripper to my funeral. And then like you just had this sense of like justice. When you're writing your last wishes, you're like, stripper at funeral. Like Auntie Maud who's got a stick up her ass, needs to have a lap dance by the stripper at the funeral. That's my last request because like, God damn it. Like, checkmate, Auntie Maud.
I could just like imagine too, like how hilarious would it be? Like you just like everyone's there and everyone's dressed up like they're to mourn, and then there's just one person who pulls out like a little Bluetooth speaker or something and just starts playing a song, and then everyone's like, "What the hell?" And they just sort of stand and just the performativeness of it. Like, when do they do it? Like, are they going to announce? Can you imagine if the priest announced it?
Yeah, the priest announced it. Oh, you know how there's the whole thing of stripper jumping out of a birthday cake? Like she comes out of the casket. Whoa, it's getting hot in here.
And now for the next part of the ceremony, we have Crystal. Crystal will come up to the
Oh my God.
What is this psalm? I've never seen hot in here before. That's not on the run sheet. Unbelievable. Oh, well, that's it, guys. That's mine.
That's it. Yeah,
Lordy.
Yeah, right.
Oh, Lordy.
It's like, I'm sorry to hear about the loss of your father. How was your funeral? Oh, it was great. Oh, mate, she was so hot. Like,
reception was at the Skimpies down the road.
Oh, that is wild.
It would not fly here. No. Goodness me, could you imagine? Could you imagine?
No, that would not fly. That would not fly.
Kind of tempted to write it into my last will and testament now, just for the
fair enough. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's like you got to kind of like, it's like if you really mean it, do you really mean it? They're like, anything you want, Rob, anything you want. I'm like, do you mean it? Do you mean
it? Oh man. Well.
Okay, here we are.
How we feeling? Are we feeling?
I can go. I've got
Matt. Yeah, please go. I'm still struggling. I thought my whole time I was like,
Well,
I'm looking around my room trying to find something. I'm like, what's the origin of that?
Walking around your room like bed maker.
What's the
floor? The strangest job. Floor. I mean,
floor. So what do you do for 9 to 5? I'm hired as a floor.
I'm a floor.
So I get people to walk all over me. It's great.
That actually sounds like a lot of jobs. Yeah, get paid to have people walk all over you.
That's capitalism.
That's capitalism.
That's capitalism.
Which links to my... Please start the timer, sir.
Oh, wait a second. Ah, shit. Chotto mate. Okay. Begin.
Weirdest job. Billionaires.
Is that a job?
That's a job. That's a job. They apparently get paid for their work. It's a job. Just because you're at a top position doesn't mean it's not a job, and doesn't mean you're not going to work. But it's weird because it's totally and utterly like useless and horrific and horrible, and it's destroying the world as we know it. But yet we all seem to feel like they have a value. But what exactly does a billionaire do? Billionaires just seem to they're like the greedy kid at the buffet, and they've eaten all the pizza. Can you imagine if like the world was like a Pizza Hut all you can eat, and then like a billionaire walked in and literally just picked up like the first 9 trays, and gave the rest of us like one slice I
could imagine that. Yeah,
that's kind of what they do. And I'm like, how do they do it? Now, how are they do it? They are kind of like a literal cancer on the world, but yet we herald them as kind of heroes and innovators and leaders. But what do they do? If the marketplace is supposed to reward you for your function and reward you for what you give to the world, well, it seems to be rewarding people for hogging things, like that's like it's like that's their thing, like they hog it, like it's like a game of Monopoly, and they own all the hotels, and it's just like none of us can seem to move past, like, whatever, what's the one, Wall Street. Anyway,
mate, I can't even afford the brown properties at the front, so I'm not too sure. I can't even afford to visit the jail.
I'm just trying to get my utilities. So look, I just think billionaires and their very existence is a weird thing, and the fact that it is a job to be said billionaire. So you wake up in the morning and your whole mission seems to be to attain more wealth. My job is to attain more wealth, to get more billions.
I see what you mean now.
So I'm waking up and my job is to get billions. And it's like, but you've already got billions. No, but I need more billions, because
more billions.
This is my purpose, and this is a good thing. Because you see, the more I consume, the more it trickles down, obviously. I think it's weird in the sense that human beings have developed our world and our systems to a point where we have put these cancers on the top of everything, and they seem to be the thing in which we herald all power, in which we say, "Good on you," and fair, have a fair go, fair enough, even though they're hogging all the pizza at the buffet.
Bastards.
So I think it's weird in that what it actually represents in a reflection of ourselves and this point of history, and how just pointless, but at the same time horrifically greedy, and how they're setting us all back. Billionaires, useless bunch of wankers. Weird job.
Are we? Is it done?
That's done.
That's it. Okay. Matt.
Hello.
And
Hello.
Actually, the one thing I forgot
okay.
to add, which I realize now is important, is that I don't know what they do. So that's what makes it a weird job. Is that they're the most rewarded, and I don't know what they actually do. I don't think they actually do anything other than just suck money into their vortexes. That's
what my question was going to be. That's what my question was going to be. Because being a billionaire, is that the job?
Yes.
Is that a job, or is that just the outcome of them and what they do as a job?
No, being a billionaire is the job. Because if their job was to make shoes, well, there's only so many shoes you can make. But a billionaire will make shoes. They'll own the company that makes shoes. But then they'll own the company that sends rockets into the sky, and then they'll have like cryptos, and they'll just have like stock. And I'm like, where do they get money from? They have these. Where do these people get money from? Then where do they get money from? Once you've got so much money, you just like consume more money.
It's like, effectively too, like, I know there are things like luxury goods and fancy expensive stuff that you can do, but like, I remember watching something a while ago. It's just sort of like, to a billionaire, a flight in a private jet internationally is like us catching a bus. Like, that is how much money they've got. It's just insane, and it's just sort of weird that people aspire to that or think they can attain those riches through pure hard work when those circumstances don't apply to those people. Like, billionaires are a whole nother league, and
they're a whole nother league. Like, it's obscene.
It's a shame. Yeah,
and I think that's just. I'm realizing now my main points of now after my 5 minutes, but like that was the other point. Like waking up and being a billionaire and being okay with that. That's the other weird part of that job.
Yeah, because you don't attain it ethically.
There must be a lever that you hit, and once you hit that lever, you actually forget anything else below you actually is.
Yeah.
Like, just like, so if the job is to just create billions and keep creating more money for yourself, then who cares? Like, that's you've forgotten. We're so far beneath. What is it, like one of our yearly wages? Could we have to work for 53 million years or something to make as much as one mate makes?
It's insane. Yeah, thousands upon thousands of years for them.
And what do they need?
Mental.
Do they need any of it? They don't need any of it.
No.
Like, it's obscene. It's obscene. Their very existence is an obscenity.
Yeah, but Rob, they don't actually have that much money. It's all just like caught up in the businesses. And it's actually just like, it's really genius.
Yeah. And it trickles down then. Don't forget it trickles down.
Oh, trickle down, baby.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for it. Mouth. Give it to me.
Please.
Waiting for it.
That sweet nectar of the trickle down economy.
Yeah.
into my gullet. Yeah, no, it's pretty that's pretty messed up. It's pretty messed up. I think
that's the trickle down economy. If you're looking for a sweet,
yeah, very nice, very nice. But it is hilarious how, like, do you reckon it's because, like, the less we have, kind of, in society, our money isn't going as far as it used to go, so now we kind of look at these people who have all this money, and that's why people start to idolize them, because they're like, well, I want all that stuff, because when all they really want is a car that works. But they're seeing people driving around with, like, Maseratis and Lamborghinis, and like, well, that's a car that works. I want one of those. Yeah, and that guy can do it.
Yeah. Be so afraid to scratch it, though. Like, you like think of like a dream car, like, oh, now you're like, just looking at my van.
Scratch it. I've got 45 more in the garage.
Oh, yeah, true. Or you just have enough money to, like, get it worked on. But I just remember, like, I've got a van. I sometimes misjudge curbs. Or like, it's out of your control. You park, someone just bungs into your car, said it again, bung. You don't know. They might just drive by, like, suck it, Ferrari. And then, yeah. Anyway.
I'm sure there are probably a lot of people. I'm sure Rob does that on his weekdays. His time off work, just goes around keying fancy cars of billionaires.
Well, if I was a billionaire, that's what I'd do. I'd be like, what's your hobby? I'm keying my own Maseratis. It's like I just buy a Maserati and I spend a weekend just keying it.
Yeah. But do you know what the crazy thing about that is?
Put that in the bin.
The crazy thing about that, though, is if you key a Maserati, if you're a billionaire, you key it and then you sell it for millions of dollars because it's art now.
Oh, yeah.
That's what you do.
You sell it to another billionaire.
Mm. If you do it, you're a fucking criminal. So don't.
Wouldn't download a car.
You wouldn't download a car. That's right.
So I really didn't take my. I didn't make my argument within the 5 minutes as well as I would have liked. But my point.
You stopped with 2 minutes. You stopped with 2 minutes left, so that's your own fault.
Yeah, that's true. And then I was like, oh wait, as we were talking about it afterwards, I was like, oh yeah, that's actually a good point. Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, that's okay. This is what we're trying to do, though. A bit of banter after our little entry, and then we'll get a bit of banter going on. Cheeky little banter.
Cheeky.
Don't you love it?
Cheeky bits.
Now, Rob, I have a really important question to ask Mr. Matt. Matt.
Yes.
Have you had a chance to think about
it? Yes. I think I've got one. I had a little.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, then let's not delay. Should I just start so you can get right into it?
Yeah, why not?
How you going?
It's fun. I don't know why I did that. That looks.
Well, you wasted your time started. You're wasting your time.
Oh. So,
yeah.
All right. I'm just like, this just sort of came to me. It's sort of in the realm, not really of the realm of billionaires, but people that people aspire to be. And I think what I find is a weird job is like celebrity or influencer, or even to a degree actor. I work with actors. Not saying they're weird people. Some of them are, but just. Talking to them and just constantly this aspiration to be an actor and like the amount of work they put in, the amount that they have to do to themselves emotionally to sort of get into character or whatever. Like, I'm sure that's not good for you mentally. But not so much acting. I mean, acting as a craft or any craft is awesome. But like to do it in the sake or for the sake of celebrity or influencing, I think that is a weird job to have that as an aspiration. I think it fits in that. It's kind of like that middle ground between regular people and billionaires. Like, I'm living this ideal life and I'm selling that to you. And I sort of like, especially with influencers, it's just like, this is my job. I'm like, I think there's someone I sort of met years ago who used to work with cameras and now he just travels around with his girlfriend, always traveling, always taking these like art, like, I'm at this resort. And I'm like, but what's the truth behind it?
Yeah,
like it's just sort of. Yeah. I don't know where I'm going with this. It's a lot of fun.
I think I know where you're. It's more. It's because it's like just a strange thing to try and aspire to be. Like having your whole life documented. So that people just for a few clicks of the thumbnail.
Yeah, and I think especially like sort of in the advent of things like TikTok. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm on TikTok a lot. But it's just, I guess it's the price of consumption in a way. Because of like, this thing's got 1 million views. I'm like, oh, congratulations. But it's like kind of like, it's either
what value? Like
imagine it's all 5 cent
pieces to the world.
Yeah. Oh, it's like it's this quick little grab of which they may say something or they think they're saying like I get served a lot of like I don't know. I think TikTok thinks I'm ADHD. I don't think I am. Oh, like, yeah, therapy-based things. And it's like, do this. And I'm like, people are spreading concept of like, this worked for me, this idea of therapy, when they're not a psychologist, when it's not being catered specifically to someone. It's just this broad, try this out because it worked for me. I guess it's just, using hype words and just trying to sell themselves and gain some kind of viewership or celebrity when, I don't know, I don't think that should ever be the goal. Like, if you're really passionate about something, it shouldn't be about how many people know that you can do it. Yeah. It's how well you do it. Yeah. And it's just, I think, it's a weird aspiration to have. Yeah.
Well, it's aspiring just to be a celebrity, not to be like, I can kind of understand it if you're an athlete. Like, if you're like the best basketball player in the world, okay, I kind of get it because you're the best basketball player in the world. And basketball as an industry generates lots of money. So you're the person that's playing the game, so you can earn lots of money playing that game. I mean, it's still weird. Like, it's weird that, it's weird that basketball is a thing, but like volleyball players don't make it like money. So like, there's kind of like luck involved. And then there's obviously, massive gender inequity as well. That's a part of that too. But at least you're still like, you're playing, like there's still something that you're doing. Whereas an influencer is like, what are you doing? Like, you're just like being present. Like, you're just there. Like, what are you doing?
Saying
and like, they're just making so much money.
Like Liam right now. Yeah. It's just having a little,
That's me. I'm just going to put down a TikTok. I was doing a TikTok video.
That's how you do it. But but I think it's just purely to do something out of the aspiration to be famous rather than doing it for its craft or its purpose. Like, I find that really weird.
Yeah.
And just sort of, I guess, like narcissistic, or just, I mean, it's once again, I guess, buying into that sort of kind of capitalist, I'm going to make money off of this type thing.
Yeah.
That got deep.
It is bizarre. I nearly chose that one for my own, to be honest. Like, just being an influencer. You got 15 seconds of that 5 left, Matt. Any last things you want to say? I was going to say I don't mind giving you an extra 2 because Rob.
No, that's all right. I think I've got it all. I mean, it's just weird. All the people who pick up horse poo. That's weird.
I
was on a job like
doing something.
Yeah. They're doing something. They're doing a good job. They're not like TikToking, hey guys, I'm picking up horse shit. I was on a job show a couple of years ago where we had horses, and it was just someone walking around because the horses would poop a lot. And so this person just come with a broom and their little like sweepy bucket thing, and I'm just like, I am so sorry, but you seem to be doing a good job.
Yeah.
So that's more along the lines of where I thought this might go. More along the lines of poop scoop. I mean, it's hard to do on the fly. Like, when you got like no time to prepare for it, on the fly is very hard. But what are some weird jobs we got? We got poop scoopers,
product testing, bidets,
product testers. Well, I was gonna just enough to mention for me.
That's a job though. That's the thing. You can say anything right now.
I would totally do that.
I know you would.
Like, sorry, this is just like, I'm like, because years ago I signed up for like a market research email. So it's like, hey, would you like to come and test out this thing? I just would be funny as like, hey, are you an able-bodied person who uses toilets? Come and test out a bidet. Right. That must happen like in countries that have bidets.
And how was the bidet? I'm assuming you answered the ad.
No, I'm just, this is like a hypothetical, like, I'd imagine.
Oh my God, okay.
Like, because I mean, the only thing I've ever tested out was those like Ray-Ban sunglasses that had cameras on them that connect to your phone, which are just stupid.
Well, when I was a backpacker, I lived in a hostel. One of the guys there basically just did medication trials. That's what he did. He's like, come and do a medication trial. And I'm like, nah, I'm pretty good. He's like, you make all this money, you don't do anything. You just go there for like 6 days and you play video games. And I was like, yeah. I was like, I thought about it actually. I was like, okay, you make
Look, I've got gills.
And I'm getting like £4.50 an hour. That's good money. But then sure enough, I got to go know the guy, and the guy was a loose unit. Let's just say that. And then like a couple of months later, I did a medication trial in the UK, and like there was the placebo group and the non-placebo group, and the whole non-placebo group died. And I was like, God damn, I'm glad I didn't do those medication trials.
So we've determined through no fault of our own that the drug does not work. As you can see here, the placebo group are completely fine. Ew. The rest of them
sign their waivers.
I did. I was going to make an honorable mention a little bit online to what some of the stuff Matt was saying to digital nomads, because like a lot of digital nomads, and I guess it's a funny thing, right? Because digital nomad is actually like, it's not so much the job. Like the digital nomad is the lifestyle. But a lot of digital nomads I met were pretty fraudulent people. Like when you asked them what they did, like one guy was like, what do you do? And it's like, oh, I'm a specialist in historical jealousy. And I'm like, what does that mean? He's like, well, I used to notice I used to get really jealous of my girlfriend's ex-partners. And so I decided to really just like to put out products to help people with historical jealousy. And I was like, oh, so you're a psychologist? He's like, no, not a psychologist. I've just done my own research, share my own experience. And I'm a specialist in historical psychology, historical jealousy. And I'm like, you're a fucking fraud.
It actually reminds me of something that I was thinking about during the rank as well, was like people who want to give relationship advice, like their relationship advice means anything, like they can actually trigger something within your person that is specific to you when it's like, what's wrong?
I just realized the people who do like horoscopes, that's a weird job.
Horoscopes is a really weird job.
Clairvoyance? I don't know.
Clairvoyance, yeah. Guys, I'm going to quick time out. I smell something burning, so I'm going to be back in 1 second.
Oh, okay.
I don't smell anything burning. It's in your head.
Burnt toast. Is Lynn having a stroke?
Don't have a stroke. I hope this makes the cut.
I hope Lynn's house is not burning down. That's what I hope. Sounds like he's having a conversation, which isn't, get out.
Unless he's talking to the fire.
Are you talking to the fire? Please, fire, calm down. Stop.
Is your fire
I'm
house
recording
trained?
a podcast right now. Unbelievable.
Now, that'd be a weird job. Teaching people how to house train their fires.
So what you're going to want to do, you're going to whisper to it really quietly, but not too loud because oxygen makes it really mad. Done.
Oh, wow. So I've just done a quick...
All right, guys. We got to wrap this bad boy up. So it is time to rankaroo. Whoosh, whoosh. Matt, you went last, which means you have to rank first.
All right.
Boom.
So in billionaires, I did... What did I do? Celebrities, influencers.
Influencers, yeah.
And then you were people for hire, which is all the same vein.
Kinda. I don't know if mine is.
No, yeah. I mean, I think... all right.
Mine's billionaires. Billionaires.
I'm a billionaire.
Yes. Yeah.
I was a millionaire once when I lived in Korea.
Yeah, that's right. I was waiting for it. Look at all that one.
All right. Let me just have a little cheeky thing.
He's having a cheeky thing.
A cheeky thing.
Do you need some?
Why are you having a cheeky think? This is some of the jobs that come up on Google. Marmite taster, an odor judge, a snake milker.
Your odor wins. Congratulations.
Here's one, a professional mourner. And it says here, it's a tradition in Southeast Asia that loud funerals will assist the dead as they travel to the afterlife. So professional mourners are hired to cry and weep loudly throughout the service. There you go.
There we go.
There's a train pusher, full-time Netflix viewer. I mean, I'd do that as a hobby.
Yeah, it's true. You get paid for that, man. You're doing it for free. You get paid for it.
I pay for it.
Exactly.
A professional sleeper. Now we're talking. A hotel in Finland hired a member of staff as a professional sleeper to test the comfort of their beds.
Lovely. Has it helped you, Matt? Has it helped you?
I'm gonna go. All right. Here we go. They're all very close. I'm gonna go roll with billionaires first, just because it's just so weird that people can attain so much, an obscene amount of wealth. When others can't, and it's just unfathomable, like the divide. And then people for hire, because it's just that is sort of kooky. Like, I understand people are lonely, but or just like to pay someone just to like like, come hang out with me for a day, and then like, do they get like a little dossier about this person, like, so they can bring it up, like, how's
I'm not familiar with the specifics. I'm sorry, Mr. Matt.
Okay, and then
I'll do better research next time for this.
That's
rank
right.
that we think of on the spot.
It could be a cool little doco. And then last is my one. Just celebrity influencer, like people doing it for fame as opposed to passion.
Passion, passion.
That's my rank.
Scores are written down. Now we move to
damn. While I was buying you time,
Rob.
I wasn't thinking of my own rank. So here I am. So I'm going to go just because I think
that's me.
I think it's the most tangible job is person for hire as my number one. I'm going to go person for hire as number one. I'm then going to go so influencer and billionaire. Influencer and billionaire. They've like, to me, they're kind of like, they're very, like, I don't know how to differentiate the two, really.
I can. We'll get to that in a second.
No, I think Liam's going to judge me for my billionaire take, and I think I predict Liam's version already. I think I predict Liam's rank already. So just to spite Liam, I'm going to go billionaire as 2, just so I can
a strategic spite,
because the job is to attain more wealth once you have obscene wealth, and the job is to obtain more wealth. So it's like the job is to literally be a cancer. So I'm going to go billionaire as 2, influencer as 3, for no real reason other than, but it's 3 other than 1 I thought was fairly compelling for a strange job, because there's also a job that I can see myself doing. I can actually see myself. I think I could go to Japan and be a person for hire. I like the idea of it, which I think is why I want it to be number 1.
Rob,
I think we've
done that already. We've done that already.
To be, we actually have.
I'm going to put. I'm also going to put myself number 1, because if we're talking about actually weird, I think mine was actually weird and probably actually a job that people do. No, that's not true, because influencers, people do that, and billionaires do exist also. That is true. But I'm going to put influencers second, only because that was my second thought when I was actually choosing something that was weird, just because the idea of wanting to, put yourself out there for 15 seconds, 20 seconds in the hope that you'll get a few thousand likes, a few million likes, and get some advertising money. It's not tangible. It doesn't last very long. Number 2. I'm putting billionaire number 3, and not because I don't think it's a job. I just don't think it's weird. I think it's disgusting. I think it's a differential. So that's the only reason why I'm putting it 3. I don't think it's. I don't think it's weird in that sense. And when I'm thinking weird jobs, I'm thinking strippers at funerals. So that's what I'm thinking about.
They're the real heroes. If the market was to really put the wealth where it needed to be, I mean, strippers at funerals would be right up there. Just for the balls of it, because half the crowd would be like, what? And the other half the crowd would be like, oh yeah, I think like,
do more. Encore, die again, let's go. All right, gents, we've got ourselves a little cheeky rank. We got a cheeky rank. Our ranks are as such. Number 3 tonight is unfortunately Mr. Matt with
celebrity influencers. Sorry, was I meant to say it?
Yeah. Number 2, Rob,
with billionaires.
And number 1, person for hire, people for hire, families for hire, boyfriends for hire. Get it all. Strippers for hire. They're all yours if you want them. Well, that's it, guys. What a lovely episode that was. A lot of fun. A lot of fun. Let's send this bad boy off with a lovely final thought. Who has one? Cool.
I'll jump in. I can
go.
I'll make something up. Okay. The marketplace. The marketplace rewards a monetary value for things of value. And what is more valuable to getting through the day than weirdness? What provides more joy, more interest, more intrigue than the weird and the strange? So if there's any job that's worthy in this world, that's worthy of getting me through the day and strikes me of someone, as someone who's ambitious and creative and innovative, it's those people that have found themselves in the weird jobs. not so much the billionaires or the influencers, but the professional sleepers or the Marmite tasters or the people for hire. They're the people who I take my hat off to and thank them for all their hard work.
Beautiful.
Thank you for listening.
Stunning.
Thanks, Matt, for joining us again.
No worries,
And we'll
guys.
see you next time.